rescheduling our meeting from yesterday. Look, even the cobwebs are inside. A Porsche from the early days of our entire collection. If you look here at this spot, just wipe away a bit of dust from 2001, the deep blue chrome, and as I said, over time. Yes friends, welcome, new clip. Today we are dedicating ourselves once again to the 90-year-old convertible, and so we drove this vehicle to many festive events and also quite a few weddings. And that of course remains in memory. But one thing has particularly stuck. We once participated in a commercial for Totto Lotto with the car, and it was produced back then in Pullman City. Yes, and that's where we really pushed the vehicle to its limits. Just for the first scene of the film, we had to make at least 25 attempts to get it right. And yes, the rough story is based on Bonnie and Clyde, that criminal couple who drive into the western town with the Opel, rob a bank, and then flee from the sheriff, eventually driving spectacularly into a large haystack with the car. And the moral of the story is that one should not rob a bank, but rather play lotto and get on the big airplane. This commercial was shown in all cinemas here in Germany at that time. It was a pre-show to the blockbuster. And as mentioned, we will now show you this commercial, and then we will take another look at this beautiful car and try to start this old Opel. And now, let's get to the clip. Have fun.
Well, we already talked earlier about the windshield, that it can be adjusted. Once you have one, you have to hook everything in here. Bam. You had the same position everywhere.
Yes, and also at the front again when it's closed, so that it's secure.
And now, when you close it, you have the leverage right here, making it really exciting. And you have pressed it properly and then tightened the screw. And no one has to push from the front and do a bit more there. Just here you can see the leverage effect. It's so clear. You can see the rubber immediately under pressure again. Yes, and these are the kinds of things where today we need 3 computers and small actuators. But back then you did it with a single move. And it was done. Yes. This little mirror here is also so beautiful. Rear view mirror. Then there was a bit of a wooden frame here. Not here. Then everything here just stayed here. Just ignition lock. Turn on the ignition and press the starter. That was just the small voltage for the small current block for the ignition coil. The main power for the starter was bypassed directly at the starter. We don't have any cables running through the whole car, and it would burn the car down.
So, and you can already see he has the white gloves on. We are going to clean it nicely now, and then we will try to start it again to see if the car will start after 20 years. So this is of course wonderful weather for it. Tomorrow it will first be nicely foamed up with nice soft rainwater. And then all the dust that has accumulated everywhere under the cover over the past decades, we are going to remove it now. You can't just wipe it off anymore. It's really stuck. And that's why we need to use water and a bit of dish soap here. So then you can see what a gem it is. Mouse grey, or whatever it was called back then at Opel. After asking and calling, they said the Opel 1.2L was produced from 1931 to 1935 and replaced the legendary Tree Frog. In this production room, a few of these cars were built. And then the production of the P began. Of course, Opel also pushed a lot of advertising for these models. So let's take a look at the front to find the battery and try to coax the baby buck for longer. So we will try to breathe life into the 100-year-old car for the 20th time. The battery goes in here. It is quite small, originally a 6V. Let's try it now with the battery cable. Remote ignition. 2001. Power is now about to be applied, and let's see if we can get a bit more juice. Let's try the foot starter to see if it engages at all and check if the onboard voltage is present. Yes. Let's check if our windshield wiper works so we can get going right away. Yes, look at that. The technology we have here. I'll go very slowly because it's running a bit. All right, let's get started on our journey. We can now give the vehicle a bit more gas since we've successfully pulled the air flap. This will help the engine to breathe better and improve performance. Make sure to accelerate smoothly and steadily to maintain control and ensure a safe and comfortable ride. Remember, the air flap adjustment is crucial for optimal engine function. We need to pull the air flap through here. It was needed. Here. Here is the throttle. What? Here is the hand throttle, and there is the air. You don't need the hand throttle. I will press the gas from the front. Yes, in the year 2001, he was not there. But he was always right there when needed. Now we have one too, the ignition system. So, we don't have just a simple spark. We have to try for it. Here, it comes from the ignition coil. And it should actually light up here. The ignition system is crucial for starting the engine. And without it, the engine won't run. The spark generated by the ignition coil is what ignites the fuel-air mixture in the engine's cylinders, causing combustion and powering the vehicle. This process is essential for the proper functioning of the engine. Yeah, Angela. Oh yeah, definitely older function. Oh.
The parents.
And that's enough. 3344. A bit of shoulder. A bit of a shoulder. Can we check if the fatal finger looks from the front? Can we please take a look? Right. Please. Could we degrease a bit? I don't think so. Let's make everything a bit cleaner. Now. Hold on a second. I want to check if there's a nice spark. At some point. Right now, there's none again. Wait a moment. Let me check again. No, not at all.
Maybe in the year 2001. The chosen one, will finally break through in the year of our era.
No, there was a spark. I saw it. There was a nice spark.
So make another super spark. Indeed, definitely 1,000 more.
So, in order to achieve our goal, we need to make another attempt, ensuring that everything is done at the site we need to. This time, we will focus on maintaining a high level of cleanliness and accuracy in our approach, leaving no room for errors or oversights. Doing so, we aim to achieve the desired outcome with the utmost efficiency and effectiveness. It is crucial that we pay attention to every detail, double-checking our work to avoid any mistakes. Our commitment to excellence will guide us through this process, and with careful planning and execution, we are confident that we will succeed in our endeavor. It probably won't run again, will it? She did it again, right. The original hadn't clocked that many kilometers as it is.
Yes, if he already takes the starter by himself. Yes, you engage it yourself with your foot. You don't need a drive wheel that goes back and forth. You engage it, it runs, disengages, and that's it.
Yes, yes. So then we'll go for a little drive this afternoon. This is our eternal windmill. A ball wobbles a bit as it moves. So we heard it again, and now we are placing it in the corner of our new car showroom, where it can be admired by our visitors daily. Look, the car is almost 100 years old, but safety comes first. Back then, it already had a thank you cover to lock it. Yeah, that's crazy. Actually looks pretty good from him.
Interior lighting.
Really? Yes. That is also a nice circuit.
About 5,000 years.
How beautiful it is.
Here there's a small dip so you can pull the door in when you're sitting inside.
Yes. Everything with them, indeed. He creates pressure, exactly, in the fire. We are trying the turn signal once more. Again. Yes, headlight works too. Look at what a beautiful light it is. Simply wonderful, isn't it? Now the parking light is currently off. Yes, indeed. So turn signal. Wow, look. Can you imagine? If someone comes towards you on the street, you wouldn't even know where you wanted to go out of sheer shock. Yes, so Shermish, right? So it's hell 1,000. Quite a nice home now. Yes, friends, I have lightly polished the Opel once again. It's simply wonderful how the paint shines again after all this time, and I think it has found a better place here, a place it couldn't have gotten anywhere else. The visitors here find our museum so wonderfully accessible. And I think the long wait up there under the tarp was ultimately worth it for him as well. And you see, it takes quite a while before you get such a vehicle ready. But when it looks so beautiful afterwards, it was worth it, wasn't it? Yes, and everything is really described in this user manual. Everything you need to keep this vehicle in good condition. We've discussed this topic several times before, as it used to be available for all vehicles. And the technical data is surely listed somewhere here. And here we have it already. 2100. Must be informed again about the HP horsepower number. It states 23 HP at 3500 RPM, revolutions per minute. Yes, and otherwise everything is beautifully detailed. Here's the engine again. Ignition setting, alternator, regulator, lubrication points, differential, lamps, and electrics. Yes, and here again, look at how to handle the convertible top. Yes, we showed it earlier, but here it is again in pictures. Yes, back here it is then, folded and tucked together. Here again is the special folding technique. Simple or very, very beautiful literature. And here again are all the lubrication points for the car. A truly magnificent piece of automotive history. The remarkable Opel 5 from 1904 and 30. Yes, friends, our Opel convertible. Quite a detailed little film today, but I think the car is worth going into a bit more detail. Yes, we have now driven it to our new showroom and are fully in the preparations for our festival on May 25th and 26th this year. Mark it firmly in your calendar. We have prepared quite a bit again. Feel free to come by, even with your vintage cars. Remember to decide on a channel and subscribe. Until next time, rock